Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Cycle. Live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, I am Uyi Agumofwegbe. President Bola Tinubu has asked for German investment in vital Nigerian economic areas, including electricity and rail transport. According to a statement released by the president's spokesperson, Ajiri Ngelale, the president made the request at a meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Monday in Berlin outside the G20 Compact with Africa Economic Conference. According to the president, important growth-enabling businesses in transportation, energy, and the generation, transmission, and distribution of electric power require German investment. The president said that there should be a renewed urgency to the uneven and sporadic implementation of the Presidential Power Initiative, which is backed by Siemens. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that he was prepared for this. However, in order to move forward, he said financial and administrative obstacles resulting from the sector's governance issues needed to be addressed. President Tinubu brought up the issue of value-added processing in Nigeria's solid minerals, agriculture, automotive industry, and other job-generating sectors to the German leader's notice. Vice President Kashim Shettima has emphasized the importance of education and collaboration in propelling the nation towards a brighter future. He said universities should take the lead in Nigeria's quest for social, economic, and political development. Addressing the University of Ibadan Muslim Graduates Association, URMGA, at a grand reception organized in his honor in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, VP Shettima, who was represented by the Special Assistant to the President on Special Duty, Office of the Vice President, Jamiu Abiola, paid tribute to the University of Ibadan for shaping his worldview and instilling in him the values of public service. According to a statement by spokesman Stanley Nkocha, Shettima commended the UIMGA for its remarkable contributions to society, highlighting their initiatives in providing scholarships, conducting workshops, organizing awareness campaigns, and hosting public lectures on critical developmental issues. The Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions has asked two students, Cyprian Igwe and Olamileko Oladeru, who were expelled by the University of Abuja in July over an alleged plan to protest against the proposed fees hike, to appear before it on Tuesday. The students had petitioned the Senate asking the Red Chamber to intervene and prevail on the university authorities to reinstate them so as not to suffer for an offense they did not commit. Both Igwe and Oladeru, Director of Socials and Culture, as well as Director of Sports of the Uni Abuja Students' Union, respectively, recently finished their final year examinations and were waiting their results to proceed on the mandatory National Youth Service when they were expelled from school for the alleged offense. The school had accused them of allegedly inciting other students to go on protests if the school authorities refused within 5 days to rescind its decision to increase school fees. Stakeholders have urged philanthropists to contribute funds towards the elimination of neglected tropical diseases, NTD, to meet the 2030 target in Nigeria. The call was made at NTD's roundtable meeting in Abuja to mark Sightsavers' 70th anniversary in the country. Director of Public Health, Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Chukwuma Anyaike, said more funds would help in eliminating NTDs, improve health status, and prevent mortality and morbidity in the country. Also, NTD's National Coordinator at the Ministry, Dr. Fatai Oyediro, noted that strategies were already in place to mobilize funding from local resources to eliminate NTDs in the country. Sightsavers country representative Sunday Isiaku said the organization has made remarkable progress towards NTDs elimination, improving eye health and boosting disability rights in the country. The Director General, National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Kashifu Inua, on Monday lamented the low-level participation of women entrepreneurs in technology innovation and development. This was as he promised to ensure that no stone is left unturned towards mainstreaming women tech entrepreneurs into the nation's digital innovation and technology development. Inowa made the remarks at the opening of the Female Tech Founders Training Program at the National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics held in Abuja. Inowa, who was represented at the event by the Acting Director of Digital Literacy and Capacity Development at NIDA, Amina Magaji, said it was encouraging that over 7,000 women tech founders had registered to participate in the training program within 2 weeks. Magaji said the program, which is in conjunction with NIDA, aligns with the 8 pillars identified by the federal government to boost women's participation in technology, innovation, acquisition, and development. According to her, the program was designed to advance women in technology and create platforms for them to network and pool resources together to improve their businesses. In a different development, the federal government has resolved the passport production crisis in the United States of America as the 3 missions have resumed passport services. According to a public notice posted in the Embassy of Nigeria, Washington, D.C., all passport applicants scheduled earlier for biometrics are expected to come to the mission on Monday. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed the election of Governor Asinth Alia of Benue State. It dismissed the appeal by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and its candidate in the last governorship election, Titus Uba. PDP and Uba had challenged the September 23 judgment of the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal, which dismissed their petition against the return of Alia. Alia contested the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, as the winner of the governorship election held on March 18. A 3-member panel, in a unanimous judgment, resolved the 3 issues that were for determination against the appellants. It held that the appeal was without merit. Well, the federal government has reiterated commitment to reposition and revitalize the Nigerian economy for sustainable growth by exploring innovative strategies to bolster the nation's economic sustainability. Kikelamo Okere reports that the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Suzo,
conformity assessment and procedure in order to reduce technical barriers to trade and therefore promote intra-Africa and international trade, as well as enhance the industrialization of Africa. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, who was represented by the Director of Weights and Measures of the ministry, says there is need for increased cooperation among the African nations and ASO member states in facilitating the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, especially with respect to enhancing a common regulatory framework in the context of technical barrier to trade.
They need to reflect on the challenges which have affected trade in Africa, especially the technical barriers to trade with respect to varying indices. Furthermore, it is envisaged that the year-long activities, including the standardization activities, both at the national, regional, and continental levels, will require collaboration among the member states.
Policymakers, we have come together to put the policy documents before us. It's all upon us here, ladies and gentlemen. These are the leaders on whom the policymakers have placed the responsibility to change everything within Africa. I can assure you that if we change that mindset, each and every little country is going to be rich simply by focusing on Africa.
The Director General Standard Organization of Nigeria, Ifeanyi Okeke, says the 69th ASO Nigeria will not only foster collaboration but will further reinforce the established relationship between the council members who administer ASO activities within the continent, adding that ASO Council play a vital role in approving harmonized African standards and regulations across the continent, thereby ensuring that the highest standards of quality, safety and innovation are deployed to facilitate trade within the African Continental Free Trade Zone and globally.
The development of African standards and international activities in Africa, and also to create an avenue for knowledge sharing and to promote the adoption and implementation of standards and harmonization among African countries, and also to facilitate trade across the African continent. And finally is to create an enabling environment for the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Standards and I emphasize on one point. It said that when relevant international standards do not meet our commitment, do not meet our needs, we need to have our own standards. It should not be questionable. We should be also driving our own standardization work, our own development at the continental level. Why should we have those standards? Is to be able to conform to the market. First,
the 69th ASO is tagged Acceleration of the African Continental Free Trade Area Implementation. One standard, one step, one certificate accepted everywhere is aimed to unify the African market. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kike. The FCT Primary Health Care Board has declared its commitment to eradicating the circulating poliovirus type 2, which has the capability to mutate. During the media briefing to mark the 2023 Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week, the Acting Executive Secretary of the FCT Primary Health Care Board, Dr. Yakubu Mohammed, revealed that the board is escalating efforts through comprehensive vaccinations to uphold a zero transmission level. The PHCB Executive Secretary said the exercise will run for a week across the 6 area councils of the FCT, targeting children from 0 to 59 months for oral vaccines, with 1,274,417 population to be vaccinated. The Director, Federal Scholarship Board, Asta Ondajiwo, has called on prospective candidates to be disciplined and focused during the exercise. She gave the charge during the 2024-2025 Commonwealth Scholarship and Fellowship Plan nomination exercise in Abuja. Global TV's education correspondent Sobra Usman was at the opening ceremony and now brings us details.
The director said the Commonwealth Fellowship Plan is highly prestigious as the award covers the awardee and their spouses. Hence, applicants should be focused and dedicated throughout the screening process.
This year, about 2,000 applicants applied through the electronic application system, the EAS. The CSFP is highly prestigious as the award covers the awardees and their spouses. Hence, you should be disciplined and focused during the exercise. I wish to use this opportunity to urge our erudite and credible panelists to continue to adhere to the set criteria of the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission with a view to presenting the usual high-quality candidates.
She urged panelists to continue to adhere to the established criteria for the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission with a view to presenting the usual high-quality candidates for the minister's endorsement. Inaugurating the panelists, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Andrew Adejo, noted that applications and submissions will be graded based on academic background, quality of study plan, and likely development impact on completion of the study. It is imperative to present their application based on strongest relevance to national development.
The application and submissions will be graded based on academic merits, quality of your study plan, and likely development impact on completion of your study. It is therefore imperative to further inform you that the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission's nomination criteria gives high priority to application that presents the strongest relevance to national development. In this wise, I want to encourage you all, like the director had already said, to remain disciplined, focused during the interview sessions, to enable you qualify for nomination.
Since inception in 1959, more than 30,000 individuals have so far benefited from the awards, and majority of the awardees from Nigeria have returned to make significant contributions to the development of the nation, particularly across the tertiary institution. Sobra Usman, Global Television News, Abuja.
Emirates Airlines says it will resume flight operations in and out of Nigeria following discussions aimed at resolving the differences between Nigerian government and its United Arab Emirates counterpart. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Kayamo, who disclosed this after attending the 2023 Dubai Air Show in UAE, Also said the UAE government has granted approval to Nigerian carrier Air Peace to fly direct into and out of Dubai. In a statement by Head Press and Public Affairs of the Ministry, Odutayo Oluseyi said the minister also visited the pavilions of leading aviation and aerospace industries to inspect technologies that could be of use in driving his 5-point agenda for the aviation industry in the country. You're watching Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news cycle returns, Messi's 2022 World Cup jerseys go for auction. The news continues shortly with details of these and other stories for you right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television bringing you a live broadcast of the news cycle from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The Gombe State government has appealed to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, to sustain its intervention in education, health, and nutrition, among others, across the state. The State Commissioner for Education, Ajia Aishatu Megeri, who spoke on Monday in Gombe, the state capital, said the various interventions of the United Nations agency have been all-encompassing and have left no child behind. She noted that aside from education, the health and nutrition sector of the state are focal points that the state would continue to partner with humanitarian organizations. Earlier, the officer in charge of UNICEF Bauchi Field Office, Dr. Clement Adams, in his remarks, said the 2023 end-of-year review meeting where the commissioner spoke drew both governments and other partners from Gombe, Taraba, Adamawa, Bauchi, and Plateau states. From Nigeria's southeast now, the Anambra State government, through the State Pilgrims Welfare Board, has changed its Christian pilgrimage routes from Israel to Rome and Greece for intending pilgrims. This is following the war between Israel and Hamas, which has led to several casualties and unrest. The notification to that effect was contained in a press statement signed by the senior special advisor to the state governor on pilgrims, Felicia Uzoma, and the principal executive officer of the board, Obiora Weke, on Monday. The board said Rome and Greece were selected because they hold immense historical and spiritual significance, offering an opportunity for profound experiences and deeper connections with the Christian faith. On the foreign scene, flash flooding in Somalia has killed 50 people and driven nearly 700,000 from their homes, a government official said, with heavy rains starting Tuesday expected to worsen the country's plight. The Horn of Africa region is experiencing the torrential rainfall and floods linked to the El Nino weather phenomenon, claiming dozens of lives and causing large-scale displacements, including in Somalia, where the downpours have destroyed bridges and inundated residential areas. 50 people died in the disaster, while 687,235 people were forced to flee their houses. Somali Disaster Management Agency Director Mahmoud Mualim Abdullahi said at the press briefing on Monday. The expected rains between 21st and 24th of November may cause more flooding, which could cause death and destruction. On business, the Central Bank of Nigeria seized 7.33% in October of 2023. The International Telecommunications Union, ITU, the United Nations arm in charge of global communications, is preparing for the development of next generation of technology, the 6G, by 2020. ITU, of which Nigeria is a member, rose from its Radio Communication Assembly 2023, also called RA23, concluded at the weekend in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and charted a future direction in radio communication systems across member countries. The Assembly adopted a resolution that will guide the development of standards and radio interface technologies for the 6G of international mobile telecommunications (IMT) systems. Among other outcomes, RA 2023 also adopted the resolution on gender equality to strengthen, accelerate, and widen active involvement of women in the ITU radio communication sector, also called ITUR. The Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA, has launched a $500 million renewable investment platform for limitless energy in order to employ the benefits of innovation, growth, and economic transformation. Speaking on the partnership at the weekend, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NSIA, Aminu Umar Sadiq, noted that the collaboration between NSIA and the International Finance Corporation, IFC, is a clear demonstration of his dedication to sustainable energy transition in Nigeria. The program's manager of Ripple, Yusuf Umar, noted that Ripple is committed to empowering the customers with a resilient and environmentally friendly energy solution that will optimize productivity and reduce carbon footprints. African countries have called for an equitable and inclusive global tax system in the United Nations. The continent stated that a new framework convention on international tax cooperation had become necessary to rectify the historical imbalance in global tax governance and offer a more equitable platform for dialogue and decision-making. Leader of the African Group and permanent representative of the Republic of Gambia at the United Nations, Chola Melambo, said the proposal of a framework convention of international tax cooperation was not a mere policy document, but a beacon of hope for developing countries that have long sought a voice in the shaping of international tax norms. Let's bring you a bit of sports quickly. A set of 6 jerseys that Lionel Messi wore during Argentina's victorious 2022 World Cup will be auctioned in December, Sotheby's announced on Monday, estimating their value at $10 million. The footballer star donned these shirts during the first halves of the group stage rounds against Saudi Arabia and Mexico, as well as later against Australia, the Netherlands and Croatia, and the final against France. The most expensive individual jersey ever sold at auction was one that basketball legend Michael Jordan wore during his NBA final run with the Chicago Bulls in 1998. It sold for $10.1 million last year. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyag Mofwebe. We'll see you again on Midday News.